How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Over on Dixie for the daily, we did start a break away from our rising channel, so we will delete this as we did make most of our move down, and it's pretty much played out, but that does mean we could continue lower if we continue to reject this 300 EMA, and that could continue to push crypto up because remember, they are usually inversely related. Momentum does have a red dot as that VWAP does want to break bearish, so watch that VWAP. If it continues lower, we could see further selling pressure here. Again, that would be more positive for crypto. Over on the 1 hour here, we do have a descending channel. This descending channel could end up pushing us up because remember, when the highs and lows do connect like this, then that can push you forward. We do have 3 touches to the top. We have 3 touches to the bottom. We are approaching the bottom. I would watch for a breakdown at this point and an invalidation of this pattern. Remember, no pattern's 100%. That's why you trade on the retests like we cover in the Mastering the Trade series. Our RSI is pulling back. That stochastic is rounding. VWAP does want to reject that neutral. Momentum is favoring bearish and money flow is overall pulling back. So I would exercise caution. If this continues and our VWAP stays bearish, we will see higher timeframes continue lower. Again, that would be more positive for crypto. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we did see a little bit of a pullback. So that means our altcoins did gain a little bit better than Bitcoin, about 1/3%, nothing extraordinary. Momentum does want to push up. VWAP is starting to round, so keep an eye on that. That could bring our momentum lower. RSI and stochastic also want to curl, and that money flow is losing strength. Over on total for the daily, we are making a bounce off that gap, or the golden pocket here, sorry. So we're making a bounce off our golden pocket. If we continue above this gap zone, then we can break forward, see bullish momentum, and try to invalidate this rising channel. I am going to delete the rising channel because the highs and lows do not connect at this point. So this could be more of a bullish continuation. That VWAP is holding bullish, so watch for that to bounce. Money flow is in the green, momentum is pushing up. Stochastic and RSI do look positive, so watch the lower time frames. If they can hold bullish, we could continue higher. Over on the 1 hour, this could be a bull flag. We have a consolidation range after a run up, and that could push us toward the top of our golden pocket. Our stochastic does want to pull back. Momentum is starting to pull back. That VWAP does have a higher low, so watch for higher highs. If we get higher highs, momentum will remain bullish. Money flow will continue to push up, and we can see those higher timeframes gain strength, and that would push the rest of our altcoins higher. So over on Bitcoin for futures, we are pushing that 69K gap. We did say we do have the potential to see around that 70K, and then I would watch if we get hung up there. We do need to make a higher high from here. If we make a higher high above here, we can have higher highs with higher lows in an attempt to push us forward and invalidate this rising channel. So I will keep this channel for now, but if we do break out of it and we hold and we break that value area high, that red line, then we could see further bullish momentum. Remember that double bottom did have the potential to take us around 80K. Our stochastic does want to round. RSI is pushing forward. Momentum is gaining strength. VWAP is pulling back and money flow is bullish. So we do look decent here. Again, we are seeing pretty much the break toward this neckline area. And then we would want to continue further from here with these higher highs and higher lows to give us that bigger break up. So over on Bitcoin for the daily, we did have a descending channel. That descending channel did break up like they usually do, and that did help push the rest of the market up as well. So that's again why you want to watch for how those patterns play out. We can leave that actually so you can see how we bounce off it. Our stochastic is pretty flat, RSI is pretty flat, momentum is heading up. VWAP is starting to pull back, so keep an eye on that. If that VWAP continues lower, momentum could break and money flow could continue to sell off. That would result in further losses. So over on the 1 hour, here's what you would have wanted to watch for. We made our break forward. We did see some indecision, tried to make a rounding top, pulled back toward the top of our channel, and then we got the bounce. That bounce could have signified to you that we would see our break up and an attempt to gain bullish momentum, which that did happen. So that's why you want to watch for your bounces off your patterns. Our stochastic is pulling back. RSI is starting to weaken, but it does want to curl. So if stochastic can curl and hold, we could see that push us further. VWAP is starting to round as well, and money flow did break bearish, but if that VWAP rounds, we could see that money flow flip into the green again and push us forward yet. Over on graph for the daily, we do have a potential lower high with a higher low, so we could make a bounce here and push forward. We're trying to make a bullish engulfing candle. So if the next candle is green, we can continue further, gain that higher low, and then we would want to watch for those higher highs to push us toward that 300 EMA. Our stochastic is starting to pull back, RSI is starting to weaken, momentum does want to round, VWAP is starting to break down, but watch out, we could make a higher low and still push forward and give our momentum and money flow strength, providing our 1 hour can stay bullish. Over on the 1 hour, we did make a pretty decent bounce off our support area. We are trying to retest our 300 EMA, attempting to bounce and break through our resistance area right now. If we get consolidation in this range, that could make a bull flag to continue to push us up and give us a bullish channel with higher highs and higher lows. Momentum does want to pull back, stochastic is starting to weaken, but it does want to curl, so keep an eye on it. If it curls, RSI could push forward, and that would help push price as well. That VWAP does have a higher low that is trying to push that momentum higher and give the money flow strength, so if that VWAP can break our neutral and hold, we could continue further. So over on Ankr for the daily, we are seeing some indecision here as well, so I would watch. We could try to make a bullish engulfing candle, and then we would want to break over our point control on the fixed range volume profile here, and then hold. If we do not break that and hold, then we could see a further rejection and still see bearish momentum. Our stochastic does want to pull back, RSI is trying to push forward, so if that stochastic can continue to round and make a bullish cross, we could see RSI still lead price higher. Our VWAP does want to pull back, but we're trying to make a higher low, so watch for consistent or higher highs from here. If we get that, momentum will continue higher and money flow will remain in the green, and we will continue higher. Over on the 1 hour, we did retest our 300 EMA, and we are making a bounce. I would warn against the gaps below. Remember, if we do run up and continue to push forward, we did fill our higher gap like we warned against. If we continue to see this, it does give us areas we can crash down and revisit later. Stochastic does want to push up, RSI is gaining strength, momentum does want to push forward, VWAP is trying to break bullish and hold, watch for higher highs, we do have a higher low. If we get higher highs from here, momentum will stay bullish, money flow will go from red to green, and that will give us buying pressure on lower time frames, which can push higher time frames into bullish territory over time. Remember, it's not going to happen instantaneous. Over on XRP for the daily, we do have a little bit of indecision. We did reject our 300 EMA though, so I would exercise caution. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is flat, VWAP is pulling back, momentum is rounding, and that money flow does want to reject. Over on the 1 hour, we are struggling with our 300 EMA. We are trying to make a higher low with the lower high, so this could create a symmetrical triangle, which is a 50-50 of breaking up and down. Our RSI is pretty flat, stochastic does want to bounce, watch for it to hold above 30. If it holds above 30, RSI and price can continue higher. VWAP does have a higher low, so watch for higher highs. If we get higher highs with this higher low, momentum will push up, money flow will gain strength, then higher time frames will continue. Over on ALGO, last but not least, actually we'll cover DAG, sorry about that. Over on ALGO for the daily, we are overall in a consolidation zone after a push down. On this daily, that could create a bear flag that could still break us away, but if the rest of the market pushes up, it's likely ALGO will too. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is trying to bounce, VWAP does want to make a higher low, watch if it can cross bullish and make a consistent or higher high. Momentum would want to push forward from here. We do have a red dot, so keep an eye on that VWAP on lower time frames. Over on the 1 hour, we did reject our 300 EMA, and now we have a lower high, potentially with lower lows. So I would watch, this could be a rejection. This would be a rising channel. Rising channels typically do break you down. Since it was narrow, the breakdown wouldn't be much. So if we can solidify a bounce off the bottom of our EMA band, then we can still continue forward. VWAP does want to push up, but we do have a lower high or lower low, so watch for a lower high. If we get lower high, momentum will continue lower, money flow can go from green to red, and that would weaken higher time frames and still give us the chance to push down. But if that VWAP can break bullish and hold, we will see another attempt at the 300 EMA, and you want to see that break and hold in order to push us back toward our 1350. So last but not least, unless we have special requests, here is DAG. So DAG kind of went all over the place. We did warn of this bear pattern playing out, and we are still in the bear pattern. You could get a decent scalp though if you pay attention and you do what we say. Our RSI does want to push up, stochastic is pushing forward, VWAP is gaining strength, and momentum does want to continue, and that money flow is starting to gain strength, but watch lower time frames. So the way you could have traded this, we did say you do want to watch for your bounce and your confirmation. You could have seen that we made a gap to the downside when we broke out of our pattern, then you could have seen a push forward. On that push forward, we did bounce off our channel, and then that gave us the momentum to continue forward. At that bounce that could have been your cue, we would have seen bullish momentum, and you probably could have traded to the 300 EMA at least, and then you would have at least made a little bit of a scalp trade here. But that being said, we do have a gap to the downside now, so I would warn against that filling, as that could still bring us down. We are back in our pattern, so if we don't bounce off the 300 EMA, this pattern could still be valid, and that could just be whale manipulation here. Our stochastic does want to pull back, momentum is rounding with a double red dot, VWAP is breaking down, and money flow is weakening, so watch if that VWAP continues to weaken here. If it does, it's likely we will see the bears still remain in control, and we could eat up these quick gains. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night.